have another great topic, another great show for you guys, our listeners, our callers that support us every single show. Single mothers, your frustrations. This Wednesday night, 8:30 p.m. Central Time. The reason me and Buff decided to do this show because we know there's a lot of single parents out there on both sides of the spectrum, a father and a mother that has a lot of frustrations with their current situations trying to raise their child or children. So, of course, right after this show, we're going to do a show called Single Fathers, Your Frustrations. Now, our goal is to pretty much put all the problems on the table and then take each problem and try to find a common solution without being so negative. I understand that people are real passionate when it comes to their babies, their kids, and there's going to be a lot of negative things said. But we try to want to remind people to try to keep it at a minimum. I mean, be honest, be true when you're frustrated, but at the same time, when you have these frustrations, understand that you have to also take some responsibility as well, because it didn't take one person to sleep with the other one. It was two people that at one point in time in your life you got with and you produced a child. So at one point in your life, you liked that person enough to sleep with them. So we have to remember that and keep our focus on the issue, and that's trying to raise these kids. So with that being said, we want to just stay focused on that. We want to just try to put the problems out here and be patient with one another. And I know it's hard because everyone's situation is different. And I want to express that everyone's situation is different. But the problem that I see in a lot of women and a lot of men is that we'll take a few situations and try to put it all together in a whole and then say all men are like this, all women are like this, and that's not fair because there are good women out here, there are good men out here, they're good fathers, they're good mothers. There's a lot of good fathers, there are a lot of good mothers, and so on and so on. And those are stories that we need to talk about. Those are situations that should be highlighted. Yeah, we talk about enough negative things all the time, so we have to promote the good fathers. We have to promote the good mothers, and we have to come together and say, hey, what are the things that you've done in your life to be a good father? What are the things you've done in your life to be a good mother? And then at the same time, turn those frustrations into encouragement and things of that nature so that we all can just raise these kids. We at some point, I believe we have to put our frustrations down for the better half of our kids, for the promotion of our kids so they can have a better life and a better future. We can't make any excuses about the father or the mother. We just have to do whatever's necessary to raise our kids. But also, it's okay to be frustrated. And I understand that part. It's real okay to be frustrated. I tell people all the time, one of my favorite verses books in the Bible is Moses, because all throughout that book, he was frustrated. He was cussing God out. He didn't understand his path or walk of faith, but he stayed on that path because he knew that that's what God was telling him to do. And at the end of it, hey, you know the story. He did whatever it was. He struggled for 40 years, but at the end of that road, there was a light. And that's my favorite book because it shows his frustration. It shows his anger. But at some point, he was patient. He prayed hard. He self-reflected, and he got his mission that God sent him to do done. And that's what we all have to remember. And at times, is it hard? Of course, it's hard because, especially like I said earlier, when you're talking about our kids, our babies, as some people say, and we get passionate. We hear women say all the time, "I f somebody up with my baby." We have a man say, "Man, my baby girl, what? I knock her out. What? You messing with my son?" But at the same time, we have to control those emotions and remember the importance of raising our kids to have a brighter future, a better future than we've had. And that's to me a goal. Like I tell my kids all the time, you may look at my lifestyle and say, daddy's rich or daddy's comfortable, what have you. But I tell them, like, no, I'm not rich. I work very hard for everything that we have. But if you think that I have a decent lifestyle, why don't you try to beat me 20 times what I have? Have 18 houses, have 18 buildings, have 18 cars, have way more education than me, have way more spiritual intake than I have way more motivation I have, inspiration, encouragement, the whole nine. These are things that we need to instill to our kids. But in doing that, it's hard doing it alone. That's where the frustration kicks in. It's hard being a single mom. It's hard being a single mom with 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 kids, or just one kid and trying to make do when you know it's a father out there that's doing what they supposed to do. And when you have a father that has 2 or 3 kids and you know it's a mother out there that's not doing what they supposed to do. So this is the reason we want to have this show. But again, we want to try to keep it as positive as possible, put all our problems on the table, find solutions and a common ground, because that's what we here believing and laughing tears. No matter what topic we attack, we always try to put a positive spin on it. Some people may not see it that way, but hey, In this big old world, you're never going to agree on everything. But as I always say, I don't have a problem disagreeing with anybody. But let's just disagree in a positive way. With that being said, please join us this Wednesday night, 8:30 p.m. Central Time, for a great topic: single mothers, your frustrations. You can call in at 646-721-9617 as early as 8:15 p.m. You can join us on www.blogtalkradio.com/laugh_tears. You can join us on our fan page. Now you can join us on YouTube. We appreciate all your support. We appreciate all the calls, all the emails, all the texts, everything, man. You guys have been great to us, so we hope we continue to be great to you, entertain, inspire, and educate. And as usual, I'm out.